We were together at the launch of the 2020 World Press Freedom Index, and tell us your reactions to this.
Well, I actually was not the least bit surprised, certainly not surprised with the results in Asia, whether it's India, Pakistan, or China. The fact that India came 142, slipping down two positions compared to last year. And it is ironic that the World Press Freedom Index has released the same week as some of the bravest journalists in Kashmir have been arrested under terror charges, calling their stories fictitious and fake. Masrat Zera, Pirzada Ashik, student rights activists, students, journalism students. The fact that they've been arrested on terror charges for speaking the truth speaks volumes of where we are as the world's largest democracy. And that the world's largest democracy is in the bottom of the World Press Freedom Index should be something that should worry us as a country, because there is a crisis of the truth. Whether it was the Delhi carnage that took place 2 months ago, which was stoked by members of the ruling party, the BJP, and Mr. Modi's minister, and how it was given a communal twist by Indian journalists, a section of Indian journalists, to the coverage of the coronavirus, which has been made into something very Islamic, mostly by a section of the Indian media. India Today, one of India's leading news channel, had a graphic running of a virus with a Muslim skull cap, and saying that this was responsible for spreading the virus across the country. And day in, day out, you have television channels literally speaking the language of the government. The Union Minority Affairs Minister of India called the virus and called the spread the Talibanization of the virus by Indian Muslims and by the Tabligh. So I think what ministers do and what governments do is they extend their fascist propaganda even at times like this. Whether you see that happening in Hungary, under Viktor Orban, or in Trump, that's exact. And to see that being replicated in India, just exactly the way it is happening elsewhere in the world, and you would know that, that you have seen that in Manila, right? And to see that being replicated when you are not able to give solutions to the poor and the migrant population, and instead you feed them with an enemy, and the enemy is the minority community. And how do you do that? You silence journalists to speak the truth. You call them anti-nationals. You question their sovereignty. You question their patriotism when they speak the truth. Especially at a time like this, most of the health journalists and people who are covering the COVID pandemic and the medical facilities, many of them are writing for international publications. They've all been termed anti-nationals for what they believe is delegitimizing and defaming India's position internationally. So it's like the playbook by which all autocrats play, and that's where Indian journalism is right now. That most journalists are being forced to toe the line of the government, and when they do not, they risk losing their jobs. For instance, Siddharth Vardarajan, who runs the website Wire, has a case slammed against him 2 weeks ago by the UP police for what they believe was a fake story when Siddharth produced the facts in the case. Ram Guha, India's leading intellectual, had to have his column was removed from one of India's leading publications, the Hindustan Times, and he had to publish it on an independent website. So basically, Indian government does not like a media which is independent, especially at this time, which is so sensitive for